better ingredients, better pizza, better money, better my shoes, better my bitches. That's basically how I feel about like this whole like new like, hey, I'm doing anime stuff now, well, manga stuff now.
Oh, everyone's fucking improving today. Like, look at me. I'm a fucking VTuber, you guys. Welcome to the debut.
Yeah, and you're
Jesus
no longer
Christ.
getting stabbed, which is it's an improvement in and of itself.
You know, when you put it like that. Wait, can you guys really not hear it?
Oh my wait. Oh fuck! Hold on.
Oh no.
No, that's my end. That's my end. That's my end. I had to change it because of some bullshit. Where is it? Oh my god! Why is this got so fucking ass? Voice. Okay. Every fucking time. Every time.
It's all good, my dude.
Properties.
Oh. You know, in retrospect, I probably should have gone through the effort of adding more than one set of eyes. Because I guess it's a little creepy just looking at my eyes like this, but hell, we make do.
Well, people can see now that you're talking, if nothing else. By the way, people can hear you now.
Oh. Hi, everybody. Do you like my new microphone? It is significantly less shitty. Better, but the audio still off. Claudia is super quiet!
Well, that's because that you had like a new microphone. Well, you had an old microphone where you constantly fucking peaked. So I had to like take your audio and like take it way the fuck down. But now that you have like a new and improved microphone, I can beef you back up again.
It's one of those things where I apologize for making you work so much to make me talk again. But at the same time, you can hear me and it's fucking beautiful now. My voice is sweet. Oh my god. So many improvements. So much goodness. We all moving up. And now we can talk about it. The fucking Berserk video dropped and I have to say, now that it's live, fucking how do you feel, bro? We all taking dubs today.
It's the reveal could actually the premiere could actually have been better. I don't think I'm ever gonna do a premiere again. Apparently the premiere just fucked my video in the ass. So for like the first 48 hours where the video was up, it was only showing in 360p, which was fucking annoying. And
I saw that and was confused as all bloody hell because I saw the original. Oh, actually, no. Now that I think about it, before the version I saw, the preview, I think that was also 360p.
It shouldn't be. I believe that because like I had one that I sent out to you and sent out to Zach and Alice and a few others, just like to have someone quote unquote proofread it, and especially Alice found out like, hey, there's a nipple here that you forgot to cover, or you say rape and suicide and like all these no words. So I went back and I changed that. There was also some problems with the credits where I like the final thing where it says like the comic that changed everything, that's supposed to be in all major all caps. It wasn't. So I had to I had to change that. And so like the one that I uploaded for the premiere was actually a new video, but I had uploaded that like the 19th of August or something. Like I made the video like of me sitting in the couch the same the day after I was sure that it was uploaded and it had gotten like the HD check. I don't know if you've ever uploaded anything to YouTube, but when you upload something, you get like a little square where it says like either SD, HD, or 4K. And then like it will, and that's basically just like we have now like done so that it can be viewed in these different qualities. And it had the HD mark, but then when it premiered, it just came out in 360. And it's the one and only time that like I had to be put through to an actual human being working at YouTube. Because normally,
Oh
like
my
I'm sure
god.
that you just get like in contact with a bot or something. But this time I was
Yeah.
actually in contact with a real life human being that was like, "Oh yeah, there's some fucky wucky here. We need to look into this." Um, it should be fixed now, but just sitting there throughout the entire premiere and just going, "Fuck." Um, but yeah, it's nice that it's finally out. It's gotten, I think, we're over 1K views. I had perhaps hoped for a little more, but then again, like I gotta remember, this is almost like quarter of a fucking day that you have to put aside for this. So I am well understanding that this is an endeavor that not everyone is like. It's just gonna throw on willy nilly. Like this is something that you kind of have to like plan around, and that is 100% fair.
This is definitely one of those videos where you have to just sit back and wait and just leave it alone, because there's a lot of things going against you, because like you said, it is a whole 6 and almost 1.5 hours of content you get to sit through. So it's definitely like the best put in the background video you've ever made. But
Thank
you
you.
also have to remember like how views are calculated. You have to watch over a certain percentage of video. So it's not just like how long the video is, or because like sometimes for some people they have to watch for like a whole hour. Sometimes it's 10 minutes. Sometimes it's like 70% of the video, and you gotta wait until the YouTube algorithm starts to pick up, because usually after a premiere like this, you don't really go on the ball going crazy until like a couple of weeks in.
Mm.
So, but I gotta say, I do peek into the fucking comments every now and then. Hell, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm seeing people's responses, and they're all just fucking in love with it.
Yeah,
Even from people who I kind of got like the aura that they really wouldn't like Berserk. But when you put it through the lens you got it, they're like, "Oh my god, I've been missing out." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm glad that you didn't do the anime tuber thing where you kind of like focused in on Berserk for all the wrong reasons, because you know exactly what I
yeah,
mean."
I know exactly what you mean. So like again, the you can always talk about like the amount of views and how you would always want more, and at one point as a YouTuber you kind of just get greedy and like I want more. Um, but uh, the comments that have like been on the video have been nothing short of like really just like heartwarming. Most of all because like again, I didn't like normally when I make a video or something, even like the charity streams or anything like that, or the Jello Catello streams, it's typically just because like I want to give something out. Like yes, I benefit from it in some way, but ultimately it is just like something that I want to put out there for people to enjoy. And so like the idea with this one was that I didn't really have any like intended goal about it. I just wanted to just gush about Berserk. And that was what it initially was, and you can even see that if you like just start going through the comic, where like at first I'm just talking about what's happening, and like in very broad terms, and then as I go I start realizing, holy shit, there's actually a lot of symbolism and visual storytelling. I get and like I realized like while gushing, like, okay, this is probably one of the many reasons why I love Berserk, and then I start going into depth with that. And now that the video is out, I find out that there was actually like, according to the comments at least, it is being perceived as one of the ones that are giving the most that I have ever done, in both like people getting taught a bunch of visual storytelling ways. I'm also introducing Berserk to people who initially dismissed Berserk. There are comments that are like, I didn't care that much for Berserk, or I just thought like it was big angry guy with strong sword fighting big monsters with like kamehamehas and shit. Um, and people, like found out that it's not that. And I think like when when I read that some people are like, "Oh, this video is making me pick up writing for the first time in 6 years," which was a comment, or I've always wanted to do a comic, but I never really found like the perfect time to do so. But you showing that, hey, this is a guy who worked on his passion project until he died, really like inspired me to fucking like finally get going and stuff. And honestly, like if that is what if like the feedback and people watching the video stopped here, that would honestly be enough. Just like to have people be inspired to actually go out and work on the things that they want to work on. And also I got to talk about Berserk and get that off of my chest and really like just push how much I can do in terms of presenting in a video, and editing and all this stuff. And there's like I don't recall. I think it was Raj who asked about it on the Discord. Was like, how is Webcomic Relief gonna look after this? Because there's so many new things that I have learned and skills that I've obtained throughout this entire process that it's definitely gonna look different. That's for sure. But I don't know how yet. And I don't know if I'm gonna change the formula or anything. But if there was ever a time, it would probably be now.
Honestly, this is like, you could call this the fucking season finale for Webcomic Relief. If you just want to talk about how this is the culmination of everything you've done up to this point, not just like, emotionally, but like also just all the skills and all the lessons you've learned. It's all just one brought into this giant fuck off magnum opus. So like whatever you do after this is just going to be building off of what you've built right now. It's just going to be better looking, better articulated. Overall, everyone's getting dubs, like flat out. I'm still like flabbergasted just because this is finally just out in the open. Like, again, sincerely, thank you for sending this to me early. I actually had this in the background when I was getting my learning how to do this fucking model. Because, again, that line, I think it was a stroke of goddamn genius to just bring up the whole people wait until the last minute and they put off what they want to do because they're not good enough. Just having this in the background while I was working on my stupid little model, it's just, you definitely have a way with like pushing people to do what the hell they want to do. And while we were doing all this and people are just watching and learning, I'm just fucking blown away at all the little details you fucking just brought in. Like not to spoiler all the amazing stuff in the later half of the video, but like I think one of my early favorite parts was when you were narrating the duel between Guts and Griffith, and you kind of just were explaining not just like the emotions and the theming surrounding it, but you were doing it down to the fucking art of how like Griffith, little small twink boy over here, is drawn like larger than life, while Guts barely has a background, and you just show how the fucking sword is sliding down, and it's not specifically blocking it. It's just a lot of. You actually do have an amazing eye for detail when you put your mind to it. It is phenomenal.
Thank you.
I can't stop bitching about it.
But
you have like 6 hours of this shit. I cannot stress this enough. If you haven't seen it yet, do it now. Spend 6 hours of your day and enrich yourself.
So 2 things. One of which is that the whole thing about like the opening quote that you mentioned, about how like there's so many people who are like waiting on like whether or not now is the time, or they keep like postponing it and stuff. I don't know if you noticed, but I never actively like gave a conclusive, and that's why or something, I just bring it up and then go. But now today I want to talk about a comic. I never like go like, but here is Miura who did this and this, because I kind of wanted to I felt like if I started putting words to it would kind of minimize, limit. It would limit how much people could get out of it. Me just going like, hey, here's all these things, because I felt like with Berserk, there's definitely you can tell an improvement in Miura's art just from when he begins until the Golden Age ends. And that was also one of the things about like, I'm not good enough. Hey, guess what? Neither was Miura, and he just kept going and got better by doing it. I'm not, what if I fail? Hey, guess what? Miura fucking failed. There's like evidence of comics that he failed at, and all these different things. So I kind of did. I was a little worried that people were just gonna go, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Because again, I never gave a quote unquote answer to what I was setting up there. I kind of just wanted people to get that from watching the video. So I'm glad that you liked that. As for the whole like the length, I I don't recall when it was, but I watched a TikTok after the video had gone live of someone making I think it was 5-hour long video called "The Fall of One Piece" or something, and people were on fucking TikTok going, "What the fuck? How do you make a 5-hour video about a manga? What the fuck?" And then like someone staged it and was like, "This is I'll bet you anything that this is just a guy who's just like regurgitating the same point over and over again about how much he hates One Piece or whatever the fuck." I'm like, and I was like, I fucking hope that's not how people see, like perceive how my video is going to be before they even watch it, because I tried to really just. Like, yes, I cover a lot of visual storytelling, and yes, there's like, hey, guess what? Positions, the moon, yada yada yada. But then I also trying to go into the way that Griffith and Guts talk to each other, how Judo has eyes for cats. Like, I try to always bring up new points, but still every now and again just point out, hey, they're still doing this thing, by the way. So it's not just like chance or anything. This is an actual theme going here. So that was like a legit worry when I saw that TikTok. Like, oh fuck, is that like is that the image that people have of very long videos about mangas and animes?
Kind of, honestly, yeah. Because here's the thing: whenever you have long anime analysis videos, you always end up with like your mother's basements, your Evangelion fanboys, the people who will just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about a point or a theme, but it's only just the themes or what they think the themes are, and it's just like a 5-hour analysis of like cherry-picked evidence to back up what the narrative they're spinning. I think it helps with you specifically. Just that is not your goal here. You're not trying to suck the dick of Miura, despite the fact you are. That's not the end goal. Yeah, that's just the.
My tonsils are on his ball sack. Like.
Sorry, I just my mind just like went back to a fucking like a Demolition D quote. It's like, oh, like, the only bad thing about, like, sucking Miura's balls is that I can't anymore, because he's dead. And, like, the tangent aside, your just unabashed love for Berserk, that is not the end goal. That's not what you're trying to, like, push to the audience. Your goal is to teach somebody how the fuck to do their work. And it's crazy to me because like I'm watching this and this doesn't feel like an anime discussion video. Because you're not trying to present an idea, you're not trying to talk down to me, you're not trying to just tell me, hey, here's what it sounds like to be a really cool book report. You're being like, hey, I know artists, I know writers, I know comic creators. Y'all motherfuckers don't know what you're doing. Hey, here's everything from my favorite manga. Take what the fuck this motherfucker did and put it in your work. Here is a goddamn roadmap. And you laid it out panel by fucking panel. And from the outside looking in, people are just gonna say random shit and like assume and dismiss it as like, oh, anime video. I'm looking at your recommended and there's like some people's videos who I've seen who are honestly incredibly shallow compared to yours. But at the same time, that's not your goal and that's never been your goal. And I do think for the people who are watching, they are gonna get something out of this. Something amazing that's gonna help them push forward. I don't think, like, even if this doesn't get the million billion views like Mr. Goddamn Beast, I do think that you've helped a lot of people by making this video.
Like if that ends up being the case, I would be very thankful for that. Also, just like again, finally to get it out of my system.
Oh yeah.
But I'm really happy like that. That's how it came across. I've never actually. I think like it's become very evident, especially over like doing this podcast, that I'm not as much of a weeb as I thought I was, and I've come to realize that I've never actually like watched any of these like super long videos about like mangas or animes or something. I remember I used to watch a lot of Mother's Basement when he did like What's in an OP, I think it's called, like where he like analyzes openings and stuff. And I thought like that was super fascinating. But then like I've never seen those like 4 hour longs of here's why you need to read Vinland Saga, or here's why what the fuck? I literally saw a fucking screenshot on Twitter the other day. Here's why this character from the anime video game AI is equals Martin Luther King. And I'm like,
oh yeah, those motherfuckers are unhinged. I saw that like floating, and I'm like, why would you say that?
yeah. So I didn't really know like whether or not like there was a taboo about like this sort of thing, and I can like understand that there kind of is, at least like before you watch the thing. So I just hope that people will at least give it a chance. But yeah, again, it like just like to talk about the same topic but in a different way. I'm just happy because again I remember I was celebrating Christmas at my dad's place, the 24th, as we celebrated here in Denmark. And the night of Christmas, I was walking home from my dad to my apartment. It's like a 45-minute walk. And I was like, I don't want to, I don't really feel like listening to music or anything. And so like, I remember I was putting on this, I don't even recall what YouTuber it was, but someone who was like making an analysis of Berserk, like diving into some of the characters or something. And he had like this really calming voice. And like, that's how I always remember like when exactly it was that I started this project, because I remember I was like listening to this video, like taking mental notes about, oh, that's a very interesting point and stuff like that. So it just feels like super cool to finally like be able to say that I have worked on something for the better part of 8 months, which was initially just supposed to be like something I did in between Webcast Relief, but then ended up being like my main thing. So it just feels really cool that to finally have it done, like to have finished it, and just because like that is in and of itself an accomplishment, I feel. Like, even if it was a fucking terrible video, just to say that you have worked on something for that long, like, consistently, and, like, actually putting in almost daily hours into it is... It's an accomplishment that I'm really proud of.
it's a labor of love for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I don't think it's like weird to say like you put your time into something making something greater than yourself. If that's the term, I'm not entirely sure if that is. It's just I really think you got something special here. If for no other reason that the fact you opened the whole video talking not about the comic as a narrative masterpiece, but talking it as a work of art, as in the work you put into it, emphasis on work. Because that's something you don't get in a lot of discussion videos. Like, they don't really go into the meta aspects. It's just, theme circle jerking and shit like that. I do think that, like, all the struggles you've went through, the literal goddamn struggles, jumping through hoops and fucking going between jobs, fucking... You've gone through some fucking life events now that I'm thinking about this the last 8 months. Huh.
A little bit, huh?
It's like a literal chapter of your goddamn life. And who knows what's going to come afterwards.
Yeah, so that's also been a thing because I had almost finished Berserk when I think I had 2 chapters left. One was the Eclipse and one was the Greatness of Berserk. And I think I had those left when we ended up getting fired from our previous job. So it was always just going to be like, I can start focusing on like getting a new job and all this when the video is done. Because like I have like a very weird brain in that a future does not exist in my head outside of a certain event. Meaning that like if I know that I have to go to a birthday party in like 2 weeks, there's not a future in my mind beyond those 2 weeks. All I can focus on is I have to go to this birthday then. And so like for this video is also just like life beyond when the video is posted. I don't know what the fuck to do. Like what is out there. I don't know where I'm gonna end up in jobs or financial situations or anything like that. I just need to put this fucking video out. And now that it is finally out, it's like, fuck me, now there's a bunch of shit I have to do.
Oh my god, man. Oh my god. Well, like chat suggests, I think what's next is your fucking Oglaf review.
I've already reviewed Oglaf. I did it here on stream.
Yeah, true. God bless chat.
But yeah, so enough about that video. Cloudy, how the fuck are you now no longer getting stabbed?
Well, first off, I started by putting a beautiful 6-hour-long Berserk video in the background, so I have something to work to. But so I'll first off, I want to give a shout out to my friend Tracy, who has helped me a lot to the point where I'm working on a LiveTube subscription that she already paid for. She just apparently was able to give a license to 2 people. So she gave one to me, which was super kind of her. And it's one of those things where like I talked about with her wanting to do for like way back when in December. I've been talking about the supposed VTuber for a while, but like the more I started learning about it, the more I got like intimidated about, oh god, there's gonna be a lot. Nobody wants to do this. Like, oh, commissions for Live 2D are so expensive because it's the hardest thing in the world. And it kind of drained my motivation. A lot of things drain my motivations. Not having a job also helps. But I think it really wasn't.
I can't picture Cloudy without him getting penetrated. What was that meme we did like in one of our first streams? Like a poor little Mexican boy or something?
Poor little Mexican boy. Oh, my fucking couch. will say real quick, it is my goal to eventually bring back this spear once I've made more improvements to the model. Because, like I was trying to say, after the video came out, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna start. It literally took me, like, a night to get this all together. Like, I will say, there's probably way more resources now with making it, with using Live 2D than there were, like, years ago. Because everything was in fucking Japanese. But, you know, with the rise of VTubers and all that shit, it's become readily a lot more easier to do on your own. But even then, there's not a lot of, like, pixel YouTubers nowadays. So I had to do a lot of things on my own problem solving. But between the model that I got to base off that Tracy gave me and just doing some basic animation stuff I've always done in like Flash, just transferred over here, I'm like, well, that was fucking easy. Why'd I fucking stress for the better part of 8 years? I feel like a right dumbass. But hey, I've got a workable VTuber model now. I want to say, I want to make like small improvements every time we keep doing it for like weeks, because I eventually want to change like what my face is. I want to like switch between emotes. I want to like have my mouth not just be an open and close. I want to have it change size. I want to move my arms, maybe flip off somebody if I want to, and I want to like have a spear button because I know people miss it. It's going to be gone for a while, but maybe if people want to throw in a super chat now and then, I'll press the button. Dear God.
You should make it so that, like, I've seen that there's these different VTubers who have like a thing where if they get donated to or bits or something, depending on the amount, they just get fucking like hit with a bunch of weird like cakes or something. You should just have that for you, where if people donate like bits of money to you, you just get impaled by more and more spears depending on how much money.
Oh yeah, like there are things about doing it. I'm looking up tutorials on how, and believe me, once I have the spear, we are going to have a dedicated super chat spear button because that's going to be hilarious. But like, thankfully, the program I have kind of like there's like certain things. Like, watch, I can give myself head pats whenever I want. Yeah. There's a bunch of other little things on this program, thankfully. But yes, if you want to give Cloudy head pats, you can. But I'm gonna eat this into the trash.
It was so like just a little behind the scenes when you were setting like you gave me a browser link, so like this thing reacts to you live, and it was so fucking weird because like even though I wasn't live, I still had this scene up so I could like put it in and make it fit and all that. And I could see like when you were talking, because your avatar's mouth was still moving, and like you were going through the different backgrounds. And I was just sat there going, this feels like a little like invasion of Cloudy's privacy. So I was like, let's just fix this real quick and then turn it off.
Oh yeah, no, I was doing some testing because, like, again, I was talking about how my mouth has some issues where for some reason my mouth wouldn't open the way it would supposed to, wouldn't close. Like I had to do a lot of calibrations. So with me opening my mouth, it was just me literally screaming at the camera, being, "Why aren't you working the way I fucking want you to?"
Were you making death threats at technology again?
Oh yes, I was.
That's the Cloudy we know.
And now I have a mustache.
Wow, now you're really Mexican.
Oh my god. This shit is too powerful.
Was that racist? I hope it wasn't racist.
Hola, señor. Yo soy el Cloudy Race.
Oh, you need to have that as a thing. Like whenever you just want to switch into Spanish, you just like click a button and the bit comes up.
El botón español. Which is racist. Watch this. You're not Mexican until you have a mustache. Oh my god. Hang on. I'm just gonna like screenshot this and send this to like everyone in the chat because this is too hilarious.
But yeah, I don't recall if you covered it, but it turned out that it was like not the worst thing in the world to make a model like this.
Okay, so it definitely is a different workflow if you're not into animation because layers are the most important fucking thing. And if you are the kind of person who has 10,000 layers to one piece of art, you're going to hate yourself. You're going to be in actual physical pain if you try to not work intelligently. I'm going to get rid of the mustache. But the blob can stay. But the thing with like working in live 2D is that there's a lot of layers to your character, and you have to like separate them very particularly. Like with my eyes, for example, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 4 different layers to it on the eyes on its own. Like there's like the top lid, the lower lid, the sclera, the irises. And you have to have them separated, otherwise, if you want to like move things up and down, you have to cut things certain a way, otherwise it looks weird. Fucking blinking is a pain in the ass, but once you got it to work, it's okay. It really is just getting used to like the tools and making sure things are in order. But once you have that order set up, it's just like this part goes here, this part goes here, this part goes there, it's there, blah blah blah. It's just a lot to remember, but I don't know. Once you got the workflow, it's kind of fun. It's kind of right up my alley. I'm thinking like once I have a pretty decent like V2 model, I might actually open up commissions to do this kind of thing. I can't fucking draw, but if you give me assets, I can make your character talk and make your own VTuber if you want.
I think like hand to God, I think like that would actually be a very profitable thing, because like there's like I know that there's people who are just like artists but do not have any technical know-how whatsoever. Like I'm gonna put them a little bit on blast. I'm not gonna say their name, but I had like an artist, a really good one, who approached me and was like, "Hey, can you tell me why my Adobe programs no longer seem to work?" and they send me a screenshot, and I'm like, "Oh, that looks weird. When's the last time you updated your graphics driver?" And they were like, "What's that?" I'm like, "I think I found your problem." Now, that's just there was some more stuff, but like that's just a sign that some people are just like really really good at doing art, but doesn't know how computer or how animate. So like I definitely think that there would be a market for people who, hey, I have the assets, but I don't know how to make it go.
Yeah, like honestly, oh boy. Once I have all the proper things needed, I am planning on just, opening commissions. Probably not anytime soon. I'm still not in that confident phase. But like, I don't know. Give Cloudy. Once I implement the spear button, I'm gonna open commissions. I'll put it like that.
Perfect.
Yes. I can computer very well, and I can art to an extent. Just I just need the motivation to keep going. But I think that's a lot of people, especially with ADHD. So
will the spear be before or after you start streaming on Twitch? Because I feel like that will also be a scenario. Like obviously, like this is gonna sound like, oh, look at me, how much I help. But I think like with you doing it, like presenting it live here on a stream or something, it is definitely going to show you like, okay, this is not working this way, or it needs to have like these things or something. So I think like if you started streaming with this, I think like that would definitely open up for both possibilities, but also like things it needs going forward.
Oh yeah, and honestly, I do thank you very, very much for this opportunity, because this tells me like what things I need to calibrate, what things I need to fix, what things I just need to like get working. But like, I do plan like once the spear button happens, that's probably when I'm gonna start streaming on my own for real. I'm gonna have the real debut.
Oh.
I mentioned it a couple times on Twitter, but it's something me and my roommate talked about. Just the absolute nightmare scenario where basically told me, hey, if somebody donated $10,000 directly to me during stream, I will stop everything what I'm doing and fucking go diamond rank in League of Legends and do not stop until I reach it. And I want to point out, the only League of Legends thing I know is Arcane and Ribbon's titties. So,
you know what? Those are 3 very good things to know about.
Yeah, but it's always like the joke scenario. But really, when I do it, it's gonna be mostly like the first thing I want to do is like I want to go through the entirety of the Toho franchise, because it's a series I've always wanted to play, and I actually have a funny like my first experience with Toho was kind of nightmarish. Because like I went into Anime Boston, and I was like locked in a room with like this. I was just like a kid in high school. I was rocked with like a room with like sweaty older men, and they were like standing up and saluting to like the players, and they were trying to force people who've never played before to play lunatic mode. And I'm like, oh god, this is horrifying. But like I still love the game and I still love the music, and I'm like, damn. Maybe now that I'm adult, I can finally play this game with cute anime girls.
Now that I'm an adult, I can play this anime game with little girls. That
yes!
is a sentence and a half.
That's just how it works. That's just how it is.
That's how it be.
I didn't choose this life. I was yeeted into it. But
okay, go on.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
People don't think it is what it is. What's the quote from The Wire? People don't think it be what it is, but it do.
Oh, that's good. That's very, very good. But yeah, like that's just basically like one of my plans. It's just gonna be a lot of like playing weird out there indie game, like I guess you can call Toho indie. It's going to be a lot of that weird shit.
Of the obscure shit.
The obscure shit, yeah. And possibly the entirety of Earthbound and every spin-off game that was inspired by it. Because there are a lot. There are a lot. Jesus Christ. But, yeah.
I can definitely imagine.
But I'm also, like, waiting on actually doing the real debut, because on top of this, I actually have an artist friend who I contacted like a month ago before my job ended, and they've been doing like this big fundraiser for like months, trying to bring their fiance from overseas back to them, and they were like just near the goal, and I'm like, hey, what's your most expensive thing? And they're like, I do that. Yeah. I do a streamer package. So so once I have that streamer package and then I have this fucking avatar thing, then I'm gonna start doing this shit for real.
Yeah.
I will plug it when it's up, but for the time being, just enjoy me talking and blinking and moving my head side to side with this little blob just chilling. I'm actually surprised how it kind of just moves with my fucking head.
Yeah, that's actually pretty impressive.
This software fucking works. Damn, they thought of everything.
God damn.
God damn. But yeah, shit happens. I don't have much to say other than that. It's just me. I just spent the entirety of this week just kind of getting this to a workable state and just goofing off with it.
I'm just
Cloudy
like
things.
completely entranced with that little fucking goblet thing that you have on your head. Um, why Cloudy's face look more like a cat's now?
um. Oh, actually, no. That is like a very small detail. So the cloudy GIF. I don't think it actually saw what the eyes were. They used to be like black irises, but this is like a very very small change. But like I made the eyes yellow because like way 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 back in the day when I first had like my character for Cloudy, he did have like golden eyes, but then somewhere down the line the sprite got changed and it got became black. And and as I was like making the model, my DM came up to me and was like, "Hey, I see you're having issues with like the shape of your eyes and shit. Let me fix that for you." And she did that, and then she also like recolored the eyes the way I wanted them to be.
Hmm.
So yeah, it looks like a cat because it's not just one big black dot anymore. Now there's the little black pixels kind of look cat's eye-ish. You know, you're actually not that far off, Hayden. It's gato, not kato,
It's with a
but
G,
close
right?
enough. With a G, yes.
Yeah, I remember because like when I bought an Elgato, I was like googling it. It was like, why is all these fucking pictures of cats?
Yeah, I have to imagine when they were making the branding, they did that on purpose.
Yeah, probably. So like you were talking about like this whole thing about how you had like this whole thing set up where you wanted to make this model, but you were kind of putting it off because oh my god, it's gonna take fucking forever.
Yeah, that was it. It was more like I was afraid of learning the new skill because learning's always been the hardest part for me. I never was good at studying, and just it's like, oh, I have to learn everything. It's so fucking hard, and it really wasn't. It really wasn't. At least for me.
I can imagine that it like some people are gonna take more to it like more naturally to it than others.
Oh yeah.
But like I wanted to bring that up because for the longest time now I've been thinking of doing something about my desk. It like obviously it can't be seen, but up to my left I have a slanted wall, so it is actually limited how much I can get my desk to go to the wall, and that means that I actually have like a pretty significant portion of my desk that I cannot reach just because like it is in a little like cave thing. So I've been thinking about moving it to the right, but I have not done that because I have like if I decide to do that, then I'll have to disconnect everything from my computer. I will have to disconnect everything from my TVs and my monitors. I'll have to take all of my monitors and everything that is on my desk and put it somewhere. Then I will have to take the actual like table that I've used for like for my desk and put that somewhere else. And then I will have to move the things that my table is sitting on and move that as well. And I know that like I'm making it to be like a fucking week's worth of work when it's actually probably an hour and a half at most. And it's not, and I can just put on a podcast such as the Webcast Relief and just like have it done like that. But like the idea of how much work there is making it so that I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to do it.
Oh my god, bro. Like, honestly, it is what they say, just like compartmentalize, because when you try to do everything all at once, it is pain. It is fucking hell and pain. But I think that's a very good tool to start. But I'm also of that like mindset where like once I do start, it's actually impossible for me to fucking stop. So I imagine like once you just move like a couple things here, a couple things off your desk, you like just clean off the little things you pick up, and you just it'll go by faster than you expect as long as you don't like aim to do it all in one night. I think it is just like a mentality thing, because like if you keep like thinking about like setting aside a day to do it, it becomes this big Herculean task. But if you just like think of it, of like, okay, I'll just do a little bit now and a little bit later, you end up doing it all in one day anyway, because it's a lot smaller than you actually made it out to be.
Yeah, I also like found a video at one point which was like, if you ever struggle with like getting shit done, like cleaning your apartment or something, start with doing the dishes. And then like, oh, okay, I guess I can also like just wipe off the table. Oh shit, there's some clutter on the table. Oh, then you remove that. Like, it's the hardest part is just to get started. So start with something small, and you will be more inclined to like increase the scope of like the work you want to do, which is often how like I end up at like 2 a.m. just suddenly going, you know what? Time to vacuum clean my entire apartment.
No, it really is just like that. You just like you just have to let like snowball out of proportion.
Yeah, as I was put it, an object in motion stays in motion.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just start with something small, even if it's something like I'm just gonna move this from one thing to another. It's like that fucking domino meme where like it's just like you have something very small. Where it's like somebody puts a frog on the internet and then just like out and then it's fucking like Trump becomes president or that fucking meme.
What was it? Someone shoots a monkey is like the start, and then the end is insurrection at the 6th of January in the U.S.
Yeah, that. Oh, it's all fucking meme. Oh yeah, just like randomly, just because I'm talking about like the American government. I love very small thing. I kind of was like picking up chapters of Baki here and there. I love Itagaki will fucking just Itagaki or Inagaki, whatever the author's name is. He will just draw the fucking president of the United States just pledging allegiance to Yujiro Hanma every time. It's the funniest thing. He did it for like Bush, Obama, and for fucking Trump.
I remember there is that manga and now also anime, Inuyashiki, the one where damn One Piece is so good this week came from. And in the manga, there's a point where the president of the United States is on television, and in the manga it's Obama, and then when the anime came out, Trump had gotten elected, so now it was Trump who was on on the screen. I was like, oh, okay, keeping up with the times, I see.
I just love little things like that, and I love just putting them in like situations where it's just they probably would because they have to. But the image of like Obama extending a hand to Yujiro Hanma. Mr. I will fucking clap the cheeks of this giant elephant and then eat it. Wild, man.
I feel like Baki is like what a story is if every single component of it is on drugs.
You find out like the shit they pull in this fucking anime that like stretches the boundary of like this suspension of disbelief from what could be considered realistic. Yeah. I was watching some like funny anime videos about like this doctor covering the medical costs of like certain fights, and fucking I learned that facial transplants are $300,000. So if you ever want to recreate Face Off, just be rich.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently that's a thing. We can actually transplant a face now. Like that's not just an anime thing. That's a real life surgery that exists. The knowledge kind of fucks with me.
So what you mean to tell me is Face Off was the original anime?
Yes. Apparently it makes it screen whenever I try. There's no audio. Does anyone want to do face off with me?
Uh,
Only if we reach 1 million subscribers, we'll do
oh.
face. No, we won't.
Uh, Hayden, thank you for letting me know. I will try and check up on why you can't clip it. I think I have an idea on why it is, which is actually like just a really quick aside. So a new OBS has come out, and it's fucking like it's a little wonky because like there's a lot of the plugins that I use that are not working properly anymore. But one of the things that is really cool, like just as an entry level thing, is that you can tell OBS which like audio thing that that needs to go on the VOD. So I can technically on stream play some licensed music or some shit, and then once it is uploaded as a VOD, if I just tell OBS, hey, this is not supposed to go on the VOD, it's not gonna appear on the VOD.
Oh, so like internal copyright protection. That's kind of neat, actually.
Yeah. It like obviously if someone catches you while you're streaming, you're still fucked. But no one can like now come and claim a VOD because like all that music is not gonna be there.
Good job. Oh.
Yeah. That is pretty awesome. I tried it with my last fighting game stream where I had like some Evo music playing while I was fighting, and if you go and watch it now, not now while we're doing the podcast, obviously, but after the podcast, if you went and check out that video on demand, you will only hear the game and me. There will not be any music at all, which is fucking cool. Speaking of streaming, I acquired. My new favorite term. I grand lined Made in Abyss, the video game.
Oh my god!
Because
why?
I'm happy that you ask. Because like I streamed it, and I want to, and I ended up like being asked like, why the fuck are you doing this on the stream as well? And I thought like it was actually an interesting topic because it kind of like points a finger at me and my own shortcomings. When I was younger, I used to hate Kingdom Hearts a lot, even when I had only played like only a few hours of it. And I remember I would even like regurgitate a lot of my opinions about other things without having actually witnessed it. You and I almost came to blows at one point due to my dislike of Dragon Ball that came solely off of other people's opinions. I hadn't actually watched Super at that point. I just like repeated what I had heard elsewhere. And I ended up having a not an epiphany, but like I actually think it was that Dragon Ball conversation where I ended up going, wait, what the fuck am I actually doing? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is weak. And I ended up like kind of like realizing to myself that it's not like if I am going to be the kind of guy who is in a reviewer position where my views on a product are sometimes weighed a little more heavy than other people just because like I have the platform that I have. It's kind of like my responsibility that I do it justice. Otherwise, I end up being the type of reviewers that I would often dunk on in my videos, which you know, like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Not at all like linked to the fact that I got sponsored for liking this thing. So I would go and I would buy Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 and play through them. And then after that, I could then go, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1 is fucking shit. 2 is at least fun to play. Like, you know, like have an informed opinion about this. And so it was the same thing with Made in Abyss, where it's like, obviously I have read the comic and I have watched the anime. So I can already give a rather educated opinion on the matter.
Mhm.
but the game could technically be fantastic. And so who am I to shit on the game? Like, I can say it looks trashy, but it's more fun when you can actually go, no, it is trashy. So I grand lined the game and played it, and it is actually surprisingly very much a steamy pile of turd. It is actually fucking garbage, much more than I thought it was going to be. Now,
Oh,
it is published by Chunsoft, like
good stuff.
the people who gave us Danganronpa. So my bar was already very low.
Oh
Boy,
my.
fucking howdy.
How about that piss meter, huh?
So here's the thing: I didn't see a piss meter.
Oh.
Big surprise, because like that was always the thing that, like, when you saw the screenshots and you saw like the obvious icon with a toilet on it, it was like, oh god, it has a fucking piss meter. But there was no piss meter, but there was a fuck ton of mentions of piss. We were 15 minutes in before the first mention of strapping up Rico naked, and piss. Holy shit!
Sorry, what?
Like
Oh my God.
like just the mention of piss was was mentioned, and it kept like being repeated, and it was fucking terrible. The gameplay loop was also fucking terrible, and like it followed the anime rather closely. Like, hey, Rico's mom died and she got her whistle, but now she got a letter that says that she's probably alive and she's waiting at the bottom of the abyss. And so Rico and Reg go down to the bottom of the abyss. And when you get Reg, it is the most like, they didn't think this through at all. Because Reg will go and he will throw hands with fucking everything. Literally fucking everything. Which I didn't get to this part myself, but I could understand from reviews that there will be points where you have to like observe things and research them. And Reg will, like, as you're like looking at an animal through a telescope or something, Reg will suddenly enter frame and just start sooner dropping the thing that you're trying to observe. Like, it is fucking bonkers. And he would keep repeating the same line of, I believe I sent something, with, I think, and I'm like, no hyperbole here, every 4 to 5 seconds.
Oh my god.
It was fucking terrible. But the reason why I cannot give a full like opinion about it is because the game is actually locked behind a 3 to 4 hour long tutorial in which you play through the anime part, like season 1 of the anime. And when I was playing the game, I got to a point where like one of the adults find Rico and Reg and is like, hey, Rico, like they call him Uncle or something. I forget his name, but he's like, hey, you fucking little rascals, holy boy. And then he starts fondling Reg. And then like I was walking away. I was like, I was having none of that. And then when I came back, the game crashed. I was like, you know what? Now is a good time to stop the stream. So I don't know. Apparently, it opens up after you've gone through this, and maybe that's where the fucking the piss meter is at. But in the short span of time that we were streaming it, I think I was streaming it for like 2 to 3 hours. There was an abundant mention of sexualizing these children, and piss. And there's even like a sequence where if you go up more than 20 meters, Rico will freeze in place and just start projectile vomiting, where people can, like, any monster or whatever can just like hurt her or something, and she'll just take it. It is not a good game. It looks like a PlayStation Vita game, upscaled to like to have like a higher pixel amount. But other than that, the models are shit. The music is shit. Everything is worse. Everything is the worst. Zach went through with a fine tooth comb as a guy who makes models and environments and textures and all this shit himself. And he was like, "Oh yeah, here we have a model that uses a 520 by 520 pixels, and over here we have a 1080 times 1080. Like it is all over the fucking map. This is absolute fucking amateur hour. Apparently, they made it in Unreal, with Unreal 4, I think it is, where which Zach has also worked with, and he's like, many of these animations, their shortcomings are something that are not in the standard animation preset that you get with the program. And now, after all this, Cloudy, I ask to you, what do you think the price is for this video game?
In a just world, this would be like a $15 game. But I'm going to say full price 60.
Full price 60. This game costs as much as Red Dead Redemption 2, any Call of Duty game, Devil May Cry 5, fucking God of War, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, all of these amazing games that set the world ablaze. And this fucking piece of shit game has the fucking audacity to be like, no. We're worth just as much as these games.
I am ashamed I did not add more emotions before you told me this, because I wish I had a shocked and horrified face. I will have that for the next stream, but Jesus fuck! What the hell? That sounds bad. That sounds very bad.
And so, like, when the stream went down, I decided to go onto Steam and like check like the reviews, and it was fucking like, it is insane how delusional people are, because there was there were many reviews that still recommended the game, but the entire review is just about how terrible the game is. Like, how the fuck do you recommend a game where your entire written review is about how bad it is? I feel like that is very much like Made in Abyss in a nutshell, where it has all these flaws, it has all of these issues, but again, because it made you feel something, oh my god, fucking 10 out of 10, amazing. No! Fucking no! This is trash! Tell it's trash! Don't recommend this!
Damn.
Yeah.
Like, I do want to think it's probably Occam's razor. It's probably because they really like the piss thing.
Probably.
Probably. I don't know. I saw there was a Made in Abyss review that got put onto my YouTube, and I literally just wrote the comment "lolly toilet" and left. I didn't watch the video, and the creator like hearted my comment, and I'm like, you could have just ignored me and just wrote me off as a troll, but you hearted me anyway, and now I don't know how to feel.
You fell out there, bro.
The guy hearted my comment on YouTube when I just said, "Hey, lolly toilet" on his fucking Made in Abyss review. So I might watch the video and see if he had any actual points, because I think he brought up the game. But it's also just, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel. I don't like it. Like, I understand something about themes and it being cool, because that's the thing a lot of anime tubers like. He confused your condemnation for a commentation.
Wow. Maybe.
Maybe. I believe it.
I think with how much you reacted to the whole like Kiwi Farm situation on Twitter, I don't think that you should put yourself through Made in Abyss, because it is very much like talking into a one one-sided microphone, and the other people have the microphone. Like you can fucking go on and on and on about like how like all the issues both the comic and the anime series has in terms of pacing and tone and presentation and themes and content and all these different things, and you can be very very mature, very calm, very polite in your criticism, and people will still flip out. Again, I had people in my video say that I was wrong, that there was an obvious water sport fetish in the comic. And because like, well, the characters just have to pee. I don't understand what the problem is. I was like, well, fucking don't show it all the time. Don't bring special attention to it. Like, fuck.
No, you don't understand. The pee symbolizes purity as they're removing the toxins from their body. It is a symbol for how they are removing the old ideals and making room for new, or some shit like that.
Oh, I don't know.
Man, I don't want to think about the goddamn like thematical purpose of pee.
I don't think there is one. I think like I legit think that it's something that the author has, and I would like to be as generous as humanly possible. I would honestly not be that surprised if he wasn't even aware that he had a thing for water sports, because like it is there, but it is not like like in your face like how High School of the Dead has a thing for big ass titties. Like it is there enough that there's no doubt about it, but it's not there to the point where it is like insane. Yeah, it's like Nickelodeon and Feet, where it's there it's obvious, but it's not there so much that everyone like there's no like question about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, bad video game. Don't play it. Don't buy it. Fuck Chunsoft. Made a shitty game once again. You would think that these people would finally put a good game out, but again, if they can put anything out that makes people feel something, whether it's warranted or not, hey, fantastic game. Danganronpa 1 and 2. Oh my god, they're so amazing. Even despite all of the multitude of plot holes in a video game that literally asks you to think logical. It fucking sets up rules and breaks the rules. I am fucking done. Like, fuck. Everything is better with P. You guys should add more P to the podcast. No. You can piss off.
Or Lasse. Actually, no. I'm gonna make a quick aside. I don't think he has a thing with feet, but I definitely think he has a thing with upskirts. You ever look at like a Miyazaki film, like fucking Studio Ghibli, and count how many times there's a shot of like a girl's upskirt, and you're gonna be surprised and ashamed. It's in there.
I have seen remarkably few Ghibli movies, so I have not caught that.
I only remember catching that because I had this revelation in high school with the rest of the anime club, where we were watching a lot of like Miyazaki's old films, even before Totoro. We were on Dark Souls Miyazaki. Oh, is there a giant foot boss in Elden Ring, Lasse, that I don't know about?
I don't know. I don't even know where that feet thing comes from.
I'm confused.
Yeah,
I thought but sorry about that, everyone. That was a weird fucking hemorrhage we just had.
There's always a barefoot chicken, a soul skin. There's also a guy in burly armor, like.
Yeah, there's always Guts. Guts is there.
Guts is always there. Real quick, speaking of Elden Ring, have you seen that there's now a licensed manga about Elden Ring that has come out?
I haven't. Is it good?
So I haven't read it. I've only seen pages from it, but they did the fucking weirdest fucking thing in the world. They made it a comedy. And it seems like from the like real quick skimming through it that I've seen, it looks like the world is as serious as, as it is in Elden Ring, but the protagonist is just the biggest fucking dunce in the world. There's a point where he's like flipping out to the girl who levels you up, and he's like, "I got stabbed in the ass so many times by spears. Here, look!" And he's like fucking leaning over, spreading his ass cheeks. He's wearing like that fucking Japanese like loincloth thing, and the girl's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like he's like, "Look at all the wounds on my ass."
I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, this is literally just a fucking Yamfa run through Elden Ring. Like, at level 1, no armor or some shit. And I'm like, that sounds hilarious. I can't wait for him to glitch through a wall or some shit.
I was always when I initially played Dark Souls, I always had like this thing where if I was a good enough writer or something, I would love to make a comic that was about the downfall of like all the gods and stuff, because like, I think like that's a very interesting part of the comic that is kind of like again, you never really get to experience it, you only get to experience the aftermath. So it's like, oh, that would be super fucking cool. So I kind of figured like if when I heard that they were going to make a manga about Elden Ring, I was like, okay, so it's probably going to be like that, where it explains some behind the scenes lore stuff or something. So the fact that it's just like it's out and it's licensed and it is like, I think it's published by Bandai Namco, and it's 100% just like the fucking goofiest shit ever, where it's not taking itself serious in any way. I was like, that's not what I expected, but I welcome it.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, if I ever had to make a whole manga or something about Dark Souls or Elden Ring, I think I would have gone the comedy route. I think it always has been like Dark Souls' greatest strength to like do environmental storytelling, to not tell you things so you can fill in the blanks for yourself. And I always felt like if they ever came out with like media where they did all the explaining for you, I feel that would also diminish the game somewhat. Because there will always be someone arguing about like what is or what isn't supposed to be, or what a story is, because it's never always flat out said. So I think to best preserve the immaculate storytelling of the environment and world of Elden Ring is if you just have a single dumbass going through the game, punching people with his bare knuckles on the back of a horse, doing drive-by shoryukens.
Oh yeah, right by shoryukens. That's right. That was, you were going to be the Elden Lord of the Iron Fist.
Mm-hmm. Raj actually did give me a copy of Elden Ring, and I do have to play it. I made a conscious decision to actually work on the live 2D model this week, and I'm glad that I did. It also means I haven't played Elden Ring yet, but now I can! Yeah. And become the Iron Fist of the... I forgot the name of the place, but I'm gonna punch somebody in the butt. Extreme Elden Ring, let's go.
Hell yeah. We Alice and I were watching the new Tekken anime that came out. Yeah. And we had a moment where it was like, did we sleep on how fucking cool the name King of the Iron Fist tournament actually is? Because like as a kid you're like, okay, King of the Iron Fist, but like King of the... That sounds fucking baller, though.
Not only is your fist made of iron, not only are you Tekken, you are the king of Tekken.
Yeah.
Oh. it's got that heft to it. I like it.
There's so many fucking that's a weird thing about Tekken is that it has some of the coolest fucking things in the world, like Leroy, the black man from Detroit who knows Wing Chun with like the white dreadlocks and everything exists parallel to the Raptor with boxing gloves.
If you like put it all together, it's a bit fucking stupid, but also amazing. you the raptor with boxing gloves, and his story is probably super fucking sad too. That's the best part.
I don't know what the story is exactly. I remember that Alice told it to me, but like there is like the kangaroo with the boxing gloves, and there is actually like a fucking full on narrative about like a full on lore story thing about that Roger kangaroo thing where he fucking cheats on his wife and they get a divorce and he gets to like have the child or something like. There's this entire fucking story going on about that, while at the same time you have Brazilian Muay Thai king Fakum Ram that literally translates to the Roar of the Earth or some shit like that, who is fighting because the Taiwanese government or something has his family hostage. It's like you have these completely different stories.
The raptor with the boxing glove falls in love with Alex's kangaroo wife, becomes a better father to their child than Roger ever was. Damn!
Yeah, like it is juggling this weird hybrid of super silly with super serious. Hey, you know the super cool science guy that is like the basic like origin for all of the tech that happens in Tekken, like Yoshimitsu and Alyssa, the robot chick. Yeah, he's also the guy who can't walk, and his main attack is either shocking himself or farting. Sometimes farting so much it propels him through the stage.
I love that. I need to see that anime. Because like the game lore is insane, but I want to see if there's like any percentage of that in the fucking anime. I want to see it. That sounds amazing.
Harada is fucking unhinged.
Good. We need more unhinged writers like that.
Again, doing Evo, I don't even think I mentioned this in our Evo podcast, but doing Evo, they teased Tekken 8, and he fucking like when they showed that. He entered the fucking announcer booth, like where the commentators were, and he just started because like they were freaking out because they didn't know that this was going to be there, and he's like just grabbing them, shaking them, going and then he leaves. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't like explain like, oh yeah, so this is a trailer for we have more in store for you. He enters the commentator booth. He shakes people, screams at them, and then bails.
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god!
Harada is. Did you obviously know about Street Fighter Cross Tekken, right? Like not necessarily having played it, but you know about it.
I know about it. Yeah. I know about it. Oh, that fat Mega Man was in there, and it was awful.
Oh yeah. So the thing that is super interesting is that did you ever see the marketing stunts that they were doing for the game? I'm not talking about the trailers. I'm talking about marketing stunts.
No, they weren't the booth babe people. That's a different game.
Yeah, that was Dead or Alive or Soul Calibur. Oh, it was Dead or Alive. So Soul Calibur was the posters that was essentially just Ivy's asshole, which you know, I worked at a nondescript video game retailer there, and I had to do the marketing for it. So, you know, had to hang up those posters. That was fun. But so one of the marketing stunts that they were doing were they had Harada and Ono. Ono is the guy from Street Fighter. compete in various different like small games, like who can eat the most hot dogs, and
Oh my.
or like small little like party games like this, and they would kind of like switch between trying to do them legit and sabotaging each other's. It's the funny, like legit. After this stream, I'm gonna link it to you because it is fucking hilarious. Just because like here's these two CEOs of the directors of their corresponding video games, and they're just like acting like fucking children. It's amazing.
I, you know, that's honestly a lot more wholesome and hilarious and insane and entertaining than, Ivy's asshole. It's probably an amazing asshole, but
Probably.
I want to see two men fight each other with fists and hot dogs.
Yeah, and like the best part is that Harada would dress himself like Heihachi, while Ono would dress himself like Ryu. Oh no, Ken, I think.
He liked the red key better.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much.
The fighting games community is fucking wild, bro. I'm so excited. So, like you mentioned, League of Legends earlier. I am so excited for the League of Legends fighting game, just because like it feels like Riot are just taking W's after W's at this point. Like Valorant is doing fucking fantastic. Arcane won multiple awards. I don't recall which one it was that I linked to you, but I think like they won like the best animation series or something of the year.
Best writing in an animation or something. It was one of those like Emmy awards that you kind of expect from really good shows, because animation always ends up better. But we can talk about that later.
The Emmy for Outstanding Animated Program. The first streaming series to receive the honor, and it was like it was apparently like going up against like some big fucking dogs, and still won, which is fucking cool. And I came across the TikTok, and they know exactly what they were doing, because like they had like this little montage of like where they just showed a bunch of pictures of some of the girl characters, and it has like girls written over it, and it's like playing like this kind of like normal music, and then it just like glitches out and it just says women on screen, and it shows like some of the more adult hot women in the roster, and the music was like going a little more and I was like, okay, they know they know they are aware. They know what they're doing.
I need to. I have not actually seen the League of Legends fighting game trailer yet. I need to.
Well, they haven't made a trailer yet.
Oh, they haven't?
Well, so like they have like video of like some of the characters moving around and some of the moves that they can do. They've been talking about like some of their mental, like some of the design philosophies that they're going into the game with, but we haven't actually seen like an edited together trailer or anything. Just like these snippets while we hear the director talking.
Oh. Sorry, I also got distracted by chat. He said it was frustrating that a bunch of people were basically saying, "I'm liking Arcane, you're ignoring the company's sins," and it's like, please shut up and let people enjoy a cool thing for once. And it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where we're not gonna forget about like them kowtowing to China, but at the same time, I've seen people forgive worse people for less. So honestly, just
yeah. Like I am very much of the opinion that that companies should be held responsible for the wrongdoings that they have done, obviously within reason. That is one of the many reasons why I have not touched the No Man's Sky thing sense. Just because, like, I know, right? I know that they redeemed themselves. They made the game super good. It is now much better than what they initially said it was going to be. But it's not taking away from the fact that they fucking lied to your face and all this shit. Even like Cyberpunk, I'm very much like, I don't know, like, you kind of fucked up here. But we also gotta realize that yes, the Arcane does come from a company that is known for being very, very toxic, which is also why I haven't, actually put any money into it. But we also gotta remember that the people making the animation are not those people. These people were all in the video game department. Punish the people who fucked up, not the people who are just like happen to be associated with them.
Exactly.
Like the French studio that made like the majority of the animations for Arcane, what, we gonna punish them for something a different company did?
No, we shouldn't.
No.
I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, there's always like a big umbrella, but it's like, this isn't like a Blizzard situation where we can just like, find Bobby Kotick and kick him in the balls. No, we gotta take whatever we can get. Also, that also reminded me. Have you heard that Konami is like? Are you holding out any hope that they're actually gonna bring out? No, we know that they're bringing, supposedly might bring out Silent Hill. There's rumors and leaks, but no hope.
Like, I know. So here's the thing: we know that they're going to do it, but I'm not holding out that it'll be good.
Oh yeah, it's probably going to be like the cheapest, most busted port, like everything they try to do with video games nowadays.
Again, when they did the HD remake for Silent Hill 2, they fucked that game up beyond compare, to the point, like, they apparently changed Guy Sihi, like the voice actor for James, like they changed him without consulting the original, like, voice, like Guy Sihi. They didn't like consult him. It was like, hey, are you interested in revising your role as James? They got Troy Baker to do it, which was like, why? There's and like, the fog was implemented in Silent Hill, obviously infamously known now as a way to get around like the graphic limitations of the hardware, which ended up just being like a super cool way of doing it, and it added so much. The fog distance in the HD remakes are so bad that there are points where like an entire scene is broken by it. Like there's a point where like you have to you can see a boat, and in the original the rope that ties to the boat is like going out into the fog beyond where you can see where it ends. In the HD, it now just goes out and stops in midair. It's like, and it's such a small thing, but those little small things are all over the map in that video game that it just ruins your immersion completely. So if they can remove what is essentially just a graphic upscaling of a video game, I do not fucking trust them, as far as I can throw them, to remake such a beloved series, especially after Downpour and Homecoming were such travesties.
Yeah. When you put it like that, Jesus Christ, they're gonna crash and burn horribly.
Also, he's a conspiracy theorist who thinks 5G causes COVID. I'm not saying that the man is not a fucking crazy guy, but we gotta remember this was a decision way before the COVID was even a thing. Like, and even like, again, one of the best movies I've seen this year is fucking Top Gun Maverick, directed by a crazy person, a Scientologist, Tom Cruise. Like, what your beliefs are and what you portray in your video games should not be like that should not change what you think of the found piece. I think that Alice brought out to me, but like the guy who made Five Nights at Freddy's, there was like this amazing fucking, not amazing, like insane fucking outcry, because apparently he was like in his private time, he had donated to some kind of political thing. It wasn't even like, like, oh, this company fucks babies in the mouth or anything. It was just like, happened to be, what side was it that Trump was on?
The MAGA Republican.
Yeah,
Like
it was just the Republican Party, and he did it with his own funds, completely private, had nothing to do with any funds that he had gotten from his fans or anything. It was just like his own funds that he happened to donate to the Republican Party, and people went for his throat. It was like separate the fucking creator from the work. Like, unless his views or her views comes through in the work, or they are doing some absolutely abhorrent shit, fucking what? I don't get it.
People have this weird parasocial relationship thing where they just, I don't know if it's like expecting too much out of a creator or just inserting their own views into the things they like and just going way too fucking hard on it. People get too fucking insane for the dumbest reasons.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a weird thing because like we literally just talked about like how we have to like hold companies accountable for the shitty things that they do outside of the video game itself and like the things that they do in the company, and now we're talking about like how we should also like let people exist in the as their own separate entities. So I definitely feel like there's a fine line that we have to distinguish between, where it's like, hey, did you fucking steal the breast milk from your female employee's nursery fridge? Hold that shit accountable. Have guy supporting the political party he supports with his own funding, like, I you cannot hold that up to the same like standard. And I don't even like know, again, I don't know anything about politics, even less so about American politics, but like I don't support that party myself. It's just like,
no, I get it. It's one of those. Like, first off, you have the pride and distinguishment to be Danish, so you don't have to be a part of this insanity that we live in. It's just, I do honestly think people will not get off the dick of certain creators and like high status people. Like they will focus and zero in on them so damn hard and hold them on this pedestal, and it's not healthy. It is never fucking healthy.
Oh, absolutely
not. Do not hold creators up to be gods just because they make a thing you like.
No.
Don't do that. That's idolatry. That's a sin.
I also just think like it's weird how people are so like, they're either the most insanely like narrow-minded or flip-floppy when it comes to these things. Like Caesar says in the chat that apparently like some people were against like the fanart Reddit guy donating to their party because like he has a lot of LGBTQ fans, and it's like, I don't like, again, I don't know anything about American politics, but I can assume like not all Republicans want the LGBTQ to just die or whatever. Like, I think that you can support some ideals and not some others, but it always feels like when I'm watching the news or something, it's always just like, you're either 100% this or 100% not. Like, you cannot support some parts of it. You have to support all of it.
That has to do a lot with like institutionalized gerrymandering, because the country used to be very middle of the road, and that's used to be how you ran things. But because people wanted to get reelected, they kind of like, cut districts to be more and more extreme, because when you're on one party, and they kind of just snowballed from there, where, yeah, you kind of have to be 100% one or the other. So that's just, like, again, a political strife in America. You see that mentality, like, kind of, like, bleed into every facet of life from, like, especially American users, where it's like, oh, you have to do everything I like. You can't think for yourself. You can't like one parts of things and one parts of another. You got to be all or nothing.
Yeah.
And it's just no. It's such a foreign concept in this country, and it bleeds on the internet, and I hate
it. In contrast, and I kind of wanted to bring this up, but I didn't really know where to put it in. But as a last thing before I think we're going into emails, there's been a whole thing lately in Europe because like a lot of the power that electricity we got in Europe came from Russia, and so now that we have hit Russia with so many sanctions, they have now decided that they're going to block off the power that Europe gets, which can mean that come winter, Denmark will not have any power, and we will have to go like completely blackout with no power whatsoever.
Oh god,
that's not great. There's apparently talks that Ukraine is going to so like the thing is we get it from Germany and Germany gets it from Russia, and apparently Ukraine are talking about like sending some power to Germany from one of their nuclear factories. I don't know the word for it. Nuclear generators, and so hopefully like that will fix it. But I don't know why, but that's just really been weighing heavily on my mind. I think like I would personally be able to like do just fine without power, but again, we're talking about like hospitals will have to go without power to like people who are in machines to live cannot do that anymore. My Google is talking.
Hi Google. Can Superman beat Goku in a fight? I always ask that whenever fucking it starts talking to me. But the best case scenario is that I hope that these specific institutions will have something in the future. Let's face some problems too: massive energy price hikes, a new prime minister who's against handouts and helping, and morning talk shows are offering to pay energy bills as a competition prize. I, for one, was a big fan of Fallout, and I'm excited for the future. I hope that this just doesn't last and something comes along and doesn't fuck everything up. But we can only be just so hopeful.
Yeah, but I again, it's still like a little scary thing. And like I've been reading a lot of these news that I've been posting by these different news publications on Facebook, and it's so fucking wild to read it because like they were like, oh yeah, fuck Russia for the Ukraine thing, fuck that, and now like immediately the moment we're getting into a point where now it's going to affect us negatively, they're like, no, what the fuck are we doing? Stop the sanctions against Russia. And it's like, really? Like I get it, I wholeheartedly get it. This is scary with like the lack of power, but really, the moment the going gets tough, you're no longer going to stand by the thing that you were saying with your chest earlier. Like this is the entire point. It's the same thing when like people are boycotting a game company or something. You cannot boycott a game company because like there's no games there that you like. It means that even if they put out something that you're interested in, you don't buy that as well. You can't just do it when it's easy for you. It has to be a sacrifice on your end as well.
I still have not bought a game from Capcom since they canceled Mega Man Legends 3. I'm still boycotting these fuckers. So I know I'm missing out on Monster Hunter, but again, that's how you boycott. You stick to your convictions. I'm never getting my fucking Mega Man Legends 3.
I remember when we initially talked about it, you were like just so mad that because like you wanted X to get off of the moon, and then they fucking made a game where he comes like unofficial Mega Man 11 or something where he comes off to the moon, and you're like, well, I'm still angry. I'm like, you got the fucking solution.
Well, it's technically not. It's not the same one, Lasse. Because Legends and the original Mega Man are like centuries apart as far as the timeline goes, and it's different play styles. I like my tanky controls. I'm still gonna stick to this. He is not off the moon yet. Anyway, but if you have any plans to get Mega Man off the moon, where can they send their plans to, Lasse?
They can send their moon escape plans to webcastrelief at gmail.com. So in case people have any suggestions on how to keep yourself warm in Scandinavian winter without heat, please send those letters to where, Cloudy?
Webcastrelief at gmail.com. Oh boy. Okay. Let's see. We got our first set of questions from our good buddy Jericho. And he says, hey, got a few questions for you. Who would win a free-for-all fistfight behind a Denny's at 4 a.m.? Goku, Jesus, or the manager of that Denny's? Oh, and how would you describe each of their fighting styles if they were fighting game characters? Have fun, Jerry. So we're power scaling Goku, Jesus, and a particular Denny's manager. Now, obviously the determining factor is where is this Denny's located? Because obviously, if that Denny's is located in Florida, then we know who the obvious winner is.
Rushdown.
Rushdown. Actually, yeah, he would be like the Denny's manager from Florida. It's just a Florida guy, so he's just pure
he's pure
essence
Rushdown.
of Rushdown. Pure Rushdown. I guess, like, could you call Goku a Shoto in Fighters? Yeah. I haven't played it. Yeah.
You don't have a DP, which is one of the qualifications for Shoto. There was the point where Katsuya got added to Smash, and Hungrybox was like, "Oh, he's a Shoto," and it's like, no, he doesn't have a Fireball. And like, there's 3 things that you need for a Shoto: Fireball, Dragon Punch, and Tatsumaki. And Katsuya doesn't have that. So, but like people are now using it just to describe like the most starter basic character, which I guess, but that's not what it is. But yeah, we also gotta like take into like the equation, like how many times can Jesus resurrect? Can he constantly do that, or was it like a one-time thing?
Is this like a Oh, fuck, what's that motherfucker's name from Street Fighter 3?
Gil?
Gil. Is this like a Gil situation where he has like 2 resurrections and he tries to scar your DNA?
the glory of my... What the fuck is it? Hold on, I need to look this up.
It's a long fucking quote and I love it. It's like, the mark of my dignity will scar thy DNA.
Yeah, the mark of my dignity shall scar your DNA. It's so fucking cool. It's a Seraphic Wing. The thing that the Castle Super Beast podcast said happened to Epstein was just that he got fucking Seraphic Winged.
Seraphic Winged! Actually, okay, so I guess here's like the hardest question to ask. Like, what fighting style is Jesus?
I think like Jesus would be a Sona.
I feel it too. I'm starting to think like if Christianity is anything for what it is, I feel like Jesus would actually be a puppet fighter, and you just have his like followers do everything for him.
Yeah, he's like catching Ginyu in Dragon Ball FighterZ, where he just like has all of his apostles come out and do a unique move, and they rotate.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Except like the super is that Judas comes out and he actually helps instead of stabbing him in the back.
Yeah, and you if you have meter and you pop your super, Judas comes and stabs you, and then you resurrect with full health. But you have to have full meter when you die for it to happen, and you only get half health. So you have to be smart and sacrifice yourself when things gets dicey, or you fucking like you stick to that meter and just keep building it up, but at a lesser payoff.
See. Okay, so here's the thing with Jesus, I guess, because like he has so much potential, but like the setup to get it going is insane. Golden Jesus has reverse beat. So I actually do. Sorry, that fucking sentence caught me off guard. But I do think like we had to put the 3 together, and like Oh shit! No, Lasse, I just realized which Goku are we using in this fight? Is this
Uh-oh.
base Goku? Is it Super Saiyan Goku? Is it Blue Goku? Is it God Goku? Do we bring the fusions in here? Is
I
it Kid Goku?
I think that at this point we are playing by Tenkaichi free rules where it's base Goku, but he can level up.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then yeah, my money's going on the Florida man, Denny's manager.
Yeah, and again, like Shane puts it, he has fighting experience from fighting Karens, which like I would fight Frieza and Judas before I would fight a Karen.
Oh yeah, definitely. Jesus, $5 insert joke about the priests and the little boys. There it is.
He's a grappler.
He's a grappler. Okay, fun fact, another thing I want to do is whenever I laugh hard like that, there's just a PNG of me wheezing. I need a wheeze button. Okay, so yeah, no, I think we thought through this tactfully. In that bout, it would be the Denny's manager because he is at max potential from the start. Everyone else can grow. But if the Denny's manager gets to you first, you're out.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Have you ever heard of Salty Bit?
I've heard of it, but like I'm trying to remember.
So Salty Bit is a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, thing on Twitch where you can watch Mugen characters fight against each other, and people will make these matchups. Like here is fucking Optimus Prime fighting a girl from Doki Doki Literature Club or something like that, and you then bet on who you want to win, and it just constantly goes. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was a Goku versus Jesus versus Florida Man.
You know what? Oh my god, we do it like Marvel, where there's like a team of 3 on each side and they're fighting each other. That I want to see. That's a salty bet I want to have a run back. Okay, well, hey, but yeah,
you probably have some experience with Mugen. You could probably make that.
I do have experience with Mugen.
There you fucking go.
That is a part of my childhood. I tried burying away, but you know what? Let's go. I just gotta find the fighter data. But yeah, for Jerry, for that question, if you want to know, the Denny's manager, Jesus, and then Goku.
Yeah.
To be honest, I wouldn't want to fight Florida Man. It says the Florida Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one, we have a question from Shane O'Brien. And he says, Dear Cloudy and Lasse, hope you had fun in the jungle last week. Cloudy, I personally would have kept it above the ground. Oh, this was when you showed the images of fucking
the Amazonian jungle that you had in your backyard.
Yeah. Damn. I like having jungles around my home. I'd say better the dull green cut long. Oh, yeah, believe me. Like if we weren't gonna get fined for the giant jungle we would have had, I would have just left it, honestly. Anyway, here's our questions. Question 1: which webcomic relief episode do you think is overrated, and which ones are underrated?
Do I need to answer that?
I think we both need to answer that, but like. There's always the one I keep telling you is overrated, and it's 2 kinds, because I'm still salty about the 9 it got in the art.
Well, okay, so is that the rating? I thought like it was like the episode that has gotten like popular, and not what and not like what's the highest rated when it shouldn't be, or lowest rated when it should be, or something like that.
I guess in terms of the question, they are asking what do you think is the most popular and what do you think is the least popular and so and so. But I am personally bringing up 2 kinds because I will never not be salty about it.
You know what? That's fair. I can't even be mad at that. To be fair, to kind of screw into that 9 out of 10. Really? I looked at it and it's fine. That's about it. Obviously, like, I can't comment on the rating because I gave the fucking rating, so it would be fucking weird. Again, I think that my Better Days video is like could definitely do with some more views. I think like that is one of the funniest ones that I've done. And where like I there's this one point where they're like talking about how like, oh, this place is fucking sick, and there's just like a white background outside, and I had like that I superimposed a dude into the background where he's just like dancing and shit. I thought like that was super fucking fun and a good way of showing like exactly what I meant when saying that, oh, the like you could have put a background here. And I think like in terms of overrated, I would probably say the what the fuck is it? Craving Control, just because like again.
Yeah. That one, it's you were so innocent.
Yeah.
You were so innocent. God bless you. I still, if you're out there, author of Craving Control, just hit us up for the collab. We'd love to have you on. It's still funny to me how I did not know that Craving Control inspired your art, Zach.
Me neither. What the fuck?
Wow.
Okay, hold on. I gotta do something here real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, you just keep talking. I'm just doing a dumb thing.
Okay. No. Okay. Zach has been destroyed. I'm gonna fight you on the streets, Cloudy. Come at me. I'll be honest with you, an episode was Better Days, despite how terrible the comic is. Better Days was honestly one of your better reviews, just because it was one of the ones you kind of like pushed yourself on trying to like edit and make it funny as hell. But also, it's just the content was also fucked as hell. But anyway, that is our takes. Question 2.
Okay.
Who would you rather be?
Real quick, before you continue to question 2, I have brought on screen one of the latest pages from Two Kinds. Really, people? You want to give this a 9? It's fine. It's okay. It's all right. It is a Big Mac at McDonald's. It is perfectly fine. Like, yes,
a body positive tiger, but I'm like, this is fine. You can see the Clip Studio paint wall for the house.
Like, yes, it got way better, and he's definitely like doing some stuff with like angles and shit. Like the presentation is definitely like leaps and bounds better than what it was before. But like it's fine. It's not like fucking earth shattering or anything like that. It's not like Melvina's Therapy where it's just like, hey, we're gonna show you this visual that's just gonna stick with you for the rest of your life.
Basically, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Part 2 of the question.
Yeah. Who would you rather be stuck on an island or in the middle? Oh. Would you rather be stuck on an island or in the middle with DSP or Mr. Enter? See, like, immediately, your first instinct is to go Mr. Enter, because you think your chances of surviving is going to, go up. Because he's gonna be bitchy and crabby, but you imagine he's gonna, pitch in to help. But then you realize DSP probably makes a pretty good source of food, at least for a while.
I think that, like, first of all, I'm worried how often DSP gets brought up in these questions. Second of all, is that like DSP is intolerable when he's playing video games and just like seems to be like kind of an asshole in general. Mr. Enter feels like a guy I would legit throw hands with.
Mm. I guess like you have to wonder which one you're going to be more. You can realistically have like a tolerable relationship on the island and try to survive with.
I feel like I could have more of a tolerable conversation with DSP just because, like, hey, we can talk about video games and shoot the shit and like have a discussion about that. But I cannot have a fucking conversation. Again, I may be mistaking Mr. Enter for someone else, but I cannot like have a fucking conversation with the guy who's like, yeah, cuties made my dick hard, and it should, and like that's how it's supposed to be.
I don't think that's Mr. Enter.
Oh,
Mr.
maybe.
Enter is like the guy who's like terminally depressed about fucking animation. The guy who made Growing Around or some shit.
I have never seen this man in my life. Okay, I don't know who that is.
Okay, cool. I think that was MovieBot who likes cuties. Yeah, no, we throw if we were stuck on an island with Movie Bob, goodbye. Oh right, the 9/11 guy.
What?
Okay, so there was this like this movie about red pandas turning red, and like he went viral for saying the dumbest fucking thing ever. He is basically your nostalgia critic ripoff, your angry movie reviewer, and he said, "Oh, this took place in the 2000s, but why are they not talking about 9/11? This is not realistic." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking? They're in Canada."
Well, again, like we had several news articles in Denmark about you know the like 9/11, but still, like, why should that feature in a children's cartoon?
Because it's not realistic. I feel like realism is a crutch for people who have no imagination at this point. People who complain about, oh, it's not realistic enough, are just terrible and boring. Why do you need 9/11 in a children's cartoon? About a thing for, like, it has, like, nothing to do with the context. I watched Turning Red with, like, a friend, and it was, like, amazing to just watch her, like, get excited and scream. It's like, I relate to this so fucking much! And I'm like, yo, cool. I'm glad you do.
Yeah.
I just thought it was adorable, and then just her relationship with her mom, and how she was basically a slave and had no social life. Like, oh, I relate to that. That was my life growing up. But still, it was like, you don't need 9/11 in a movie about red pandas.
No, definitely not.
Should that be the podcast title? We don't need 9/11.
No, because holy shit, that's not gonna fly on YouTube. Thus far, I have 3. I have Face Off, the original anime. I have Moon Escape Plans, and I have Jesus Has Reverse Beat.
You know what? Jesus Has Reverse Beat is my favorite because that's just so fucking wild.
Yep.
Yep, we're going with that one.
Yep.
Turn the TV on. They hit the
Why was there not a big panda that could protect the Pentagon?
This panda is so big, she could have saved the Twin Towers. Where was she? Maybe a red panda stopped 9/11. Ever think of that, forehead?
Maybe there were more planes and the panda stopped those.
Gasp.
Kaiju Red Panda to save the US. That's the sequel.
Mr. President, get down.
There's a red panda.
Why Spider-Man didn't do anything? That brings
If
me back
Goku,
to, like,
if Goku's so strong, why didn't he stop 9/11? if the Dennis Floridia man is so strong, why didn't he stop 9/11?
Stop 9/11. No, he did, just not in this timeline.
Oh.
He was so strong, he went to the other timeline to stop it. Damn, what a legend.
What a fucking champ.
We have a couple backlogs, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that is a podcast. Did you know Kermit caused it? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is a podcast. I just want to say, like, here at the end, so while we've been talking, I've just been going through Tom Fishback's gallery because Hayden said that it was more like the standalone pictures that were great and not as much like the ones in the comic because he's on, a schedule there. And I'm like, again, these are fine. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Zach and Hayden are putting out like stuff that is twice as good as this on the regular.
On the regular. Y'all motherfuckers are amazing. Give yourselves more credit.
Yeah, like
Again,
this is fine. You guys are like way better. Like seriously, I'm not even just saying that because like you're my friends. And again, I think Tom Fishback's art is good, but you guys way up there.
Yes. Hey.
Alex Jones, where were you, Kermit, doing 9/11? Let's just talk about Alex Jones together. All right. See you guys next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.